Alright guys, so got the Mavic 2 Pro here, about to take off. I'm in the middle of this parking lot in this park, really nice location, and wait a minute, there's someone over there who's also flying. Why don't I go check it out and see what they're flying with? Hey, is it the smart controller?
Yes, it is, by DJI.
Ed RICKER?
Yes.
Man, I love your channel.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, Brett, I love your channel too. No, we've been working together for a few hours already today on our video.
That was a fake intro, but
what's going on?
Not too much, man. As you guys know, I'm Brett Garamella. This is Ed RICKER. You probably know him as well. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to his channel as well as mine. We're gonna do a cool video today. I had this idea of both of us flying the Mavic 2 Pro in the same location, and then we can compare our different shots with like lighting, settings, color, and things like that, so that the viewers can get a interesting perspective from two different drone pilots. I thought
that'd be really cool.
Idea.
Well, let's launch these drones, pick some subjects, some locations around here. There's a couple of really cool ones.
All right.
And compare and contrast our methodology.
Awesome.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
All right, Brett, what you got on there? Is that a filter?
That's an ND filter. I have the ND16 right here. All right, the sun's going down, so I didn't want to put on something too high because, you know, as we go down, you can still get low aperture number. I usually fly between like 4.0 to 5.6 because I find that's sharpest with the Mavic 2 Pro, and this ND filter helps out with that in order to get the right shutter speed and aperture.
Here's the first thing I'm going to change. I'm going to do an NT8 because I feel like as the sun starts going down with some of the clouds that are periodically going on overhead, an ND8 might be more appropriate in the long run. So we'll see if ND16, if you regret your choice after a few minutes, I'm going to do an ND8. Stay tuned. Okay, so we're shooting 4K, 24 frames per second. Now this video we're shooting right now is 30, so just keep that in mind.
Are we gonna do FOV or HQ or FOV?
Oh yeah, so with the Mavic 2 Pro, we can select HQ or full FOV. Let's do HQ, man.
Yeah, the HQ is about 40 millimeters. The full FOV is about 28.
Now, if there's an opportunity for me to switch, I might switch it on you if you're not careful, so be careful.
All right, we can try the HQ. From my experience with the Mavic 2 Pro, the HQ is slightly sharper, but to be honest, to the naked eye, they basically look the same.
Gotcha.
All right, why don't you do the first shot? I'll just kind of hover here.
Oh, and I gotta do a format real quick. Hold on 1 second.
No problem. It's a smart controller, doesn't it tell you those things?
All right, we're gonna go 1/50th shutter speed, and then I'm gonna knock down my aperture. Now for me, because I'm using an ND8, my aperture is kind of low. It's 5.6, which is pretty closed. I should say closed as opposed to low, because a low aperture would be brighter. I'm gonna hit tap to focus on the buildings. What I'm doing right now is I'm going toward downtown, but I'm at 183 feet, which is a little high for me because I can't see the buildings, too many of the buildings above the skyline. So I'm going to lower this down to probably about 125 feet. And that way those buildings are above the skyline, even more, maybe even less, maybe 100 feet. There we go. So now I see more of the skyline above that horizon. And what I'm going to do is go to the right because to the left is a prison. We'll keep that in mind. So I'm gonna come over here, move sideways around, and then I'm gonna get a sideways pan with a little bit of yaw to keep that tall building in the center, always in the center of the shot. So here I am moving to the right and a little bit forward, so it's kind of diagonal, and then just the slightest bit of right yaw. And this is my shot.
One thing I noticed, this might be helpful for some of your viewers, when I was looking at your screen, and it could be your screen, the difference between the iPad and the smart controller, it seems like there's more contrast and like less detail in the shadows. One thing I like to do is put -1 for sure, but maybe -2 or -3 with the contrast.
Okay.
Because I like that more detail. So usually I'm like -1 or -2 for contrast. And to me, I could always make it more contrasty in post-production.
Gotcha.
It's sometimes for me, because a drone sensor isn't huge, to get that detail in the shadows. That's one thing I like to do. But
Gotcha,
you know,
okay.
that's all personal preference too. And,
Well-
and it could be your screen. So maybe the screen, you know, I don't know if this, how accurate.
That's a good idea. So right now I'm in just standard 000 on the style.
Gotcha.
So what you're saying is you're affecting your contrast a little bit, your saturation too?
Right now I'm at sharpening. I usually do 0 or -1 because I feel like the sensor is big enough, 1-inch sensor, that you could sharpen a little bit, but not too much. The contrast, the second one, I go -2, and then the saturation I just leave alone. I just leave where it's at. Sometimes I even go -1 because I like a little more desaturated, like cinematic look. I know a lot of people like more saturated. I see a lot of YouTubers and so forth. That's just a personal preference. So I definitely like the -1 or -2 for contrast. That's just
Gotcha.
my thing, yeah.
So how about you head out there and
Yeah.
you get the shot that you like.
Gorgeous.
I'll also say that we're losing a little bit of sun because
Yeah.
the clouds have kind of gone over the downtown area. So I'm bumping up my aperture back to 4.5.
Rather than just go out there and shoot, I really like these trees in the foreground. So what I was trying to do is, I kind of like the revealing of the skyline, because when you're just looking at it, when you just start to shoot right here, I really like those trees because for me it's very emblematic of North Carolina, those trees, and just it reminds me a lot of North Carolina. All right, so as I'm going up, what I'm doing is I'm revealing the skyline, and I do this twice. The second time I might want to go down, and I'm just moving the gimbal down as I'm going up. And this takes a little practice. I didn't get it perfectly smooth right there, as smooth as I wanted. So this shot might take a couple of takes. If you want to do it the safe way, you could do it like I first did it and just point the gimbal straight at it. And then I think going from a revealing shot like that to like a panning shot like you did, or moving forward, is a good sequence if I were editing those photos. So that's my thinking. I think that's a nice thing. If you see something in the foreground that's really nice that you like, so for me it's those trees really resonate with the area and the surrounding.
Right.
I think try to shoot that first, and then if there's something beyond that, like this amazing skyline, then reveal that second, instead of just getting them both in the same shot and going up high.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
I like your approach, yeah.
Cool. The sun went down. Can I change the ND filter? Is that cool?
Yeah, he wants to change his ND filter. I knew it. I knew it. Yes, you can come down and change your ND filter to what? An ND8 you're thinking?
I'm thinking get rid of the ND completely.
Okay, so he's going all the way down. All right.
That North Carolina sun sets awfully fast. It could be all those trees, but.
All right, so I'm coming back. All right, so what he's gonna do is take off all ND filters. I think I'm going to go to an ND4. That might be good enough for me. I still want to maintain a reasonably open aperture just in case we do get some sun flare. Sometimes in a very closed aperture you start to get those starish sort of lens flares when a sun hits your lens.
Yeah.
Trying to avoid that with an open aperture.
While he's getting his drone, I will say with the sun flare, I do like the sun flare, but when it's in the corners. So I kind of don't like it as much directly, but if you can put it like in the corner or just out of frame, sometimes you get like the best of both worlds.
Here we go, I'm launching. Now I want to go to that church, I think. It's that direction, so let's get this up above the trees. I could do a low skimming shot. Ooh, so this is an epic shot. So
oh, nice.
I'm really low, and I'm hoping I can get by this tree. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, it stopped it!
Oh, no!
I was hoping to get a low skimming shot.
The lighting's really good now, so you have a huge advantage over me because I think the lighting's gonna go down.
Oh, get up there, man! Yeah, no, get your drone up there. This is exciting.
I like how you did that shot. Now,
oh, I'm gonna try again because I got stuck by that tree. That's what I wanted to do, is a low skimming shot.
Resist.
And you know what I might have to do is turn off obstacle avoidance, dude.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Now,
is it?
Since you did that, I do like that shot, but I don't want to copy that shot. One thing I'm gonna do something totally different. Okay?
All right, go for it.
I'm gonna go around first get a shot around, and then I'm gonna get a shot going straight up. I like this shot, it's in HQ, but I'm not really crazy about that parking lot. So I'm gonna get a little closer right here. You see that sun flare kick in right there? Now I like that. Just right there, that could almost be like a screenshot. If I wanted to take a photo with this, I would just try to get a little closer even. I could almost put it on tripod mode and go around it, but tripod mode, nope, it's too slow. I'm gonna switch it to normal mode. Take some practice. See, I'm just going around it, and to me, it depends what kind of music or the type of shot you're trying to go. If it's more cinematic and slow music, I like going slow like this. I really like this angle, maybe not straight on here or straight on here, maybe almost like that 45-degree angle. And also the sun, focus on that dome. So the dome is the focus. Now I'm gonna go really slow, a little slower. I'm going maybe a little too slow, maybe make it a little faster.
You're in tripod? No, you're not.
No, I'm not in tripod, I'm just
easing the sticks. That's cool.
So I like that personally. That's more my style. See that sun coming across the frame right now? That's the shot I like. All right, so I got that shot. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go closer. Let's just try something different, but maybe I could get something like this.
Oh yes.
Where I'm just going down, going straight down, and I'm getting
the shape of it, yeah.
The shape of it, because I think that's what, when you first see that, it's kind of an interesting shape. By going slow, you can cut to various sections. I'm going slower, so I can use that to get another shot.
Okay.
So if I'm editing, I can get that shot right above, and as I'm going up, I can cut to that shot going around, and then I can come back to that shot going up further, and I can cut to another shot. Just one little editing trick that I do.
I'm gonna go into tripod mode and get a shot of this and see if I can go fast enough to make it worthwhile. Tripod mode's only giving me 2.8 miles per hour. It's nice as an establishing shot, but it's not moving very fast. And you could speed this up in post, but for me, this is a little slow. So I'm gonna go back into P mode.
Do you think if you're closer to the object, tripod mode is more effective? Like the further away you are, if you were right near that dome, do you think it would have been a better choice?
And I was using that earlier, tripod mode, to get a shot of that dome and the cross at the top when the sun was kind of reflecting off it.
I love that. I love the background. And see, now for me personally, I think if you lower the contrast, I think it would be a little better, or I would like it more. But that's, again, that's personal preference.
Let's see. And I might be able to raise up the darks a little bit in editing if that ends up being something I prefer to use in the future.
Yeah.
Right now I'm still just using the standard color, contrast, saturation, all that. I'm going to turn on my center point on my screen here to, let's see, what do I like to use? I guess just a standard crosshair there. Put it right in the center of this courtyard area.
Well, that's a good idea.
And then...
Are you in HQ?
Oh, there's people.
You're in full FOV?
There's people there. Yeah. I wonder if they're like, what is that drone doing up there?
Yeah, that makes it look even better.
I'm in full HQ. Yeah, I like this better.
You're in full HQ. I mean, you're in HQ mode.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, that's good, because I don't want to mess with those people too much. that's good for me. So our last idea is up here before it gets too dark. It's getting dark.
Yeah.
Flying underneath this canopy of trees. It's shown up in my videos a few times, but it's such a cool canopy of trees. Let's do this real quick before it goes too dark. Okay. Now for this shot, we definitely do not need an ND filter, so I'm gonna take it off. We're just gonna use, well, no filter, to be honest.
I think we can do it. It's getting dark, so I think just like it is good.
So we're about to do this area, which, if you can't tell, does have some cars traveling through. Check this out. It's so awesome. What I'm gonna do is take my drone, and so is Brett, take our drones down the way and see what kind of shots we can get. One thing that I've done since it's getting dark, there's no sun anymore, is I changed my white balance from sunny to cloudy. Are you gonna do that? I did it. Let's see. It's just gonna bring out the warm temperature a little bit more. As it gets darker and you don't set that to cloudy instead of sunny, you might run the risk of getting some cold footage. You know, like cold, like bluish. So that's what I'm doing. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Nice. Try a different perspective. I think going low might be cool. I'm tilting my gimbal up right now, and then I'm just gonna try to fly it really fast forward. have maybe even gone faster. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, then come back and see if you can
come back if I can get it in a straight, you know, if I can get it going straight. Be nice even with this car coming.
Oh yeah, the car's like...
Car's coming at it. Car's like, what the heck is going on? All right.
So what are you at, 800 ISO or 400?
Actually, I think that was auto ISO. I think I had it actually at 100. But my shutter speed was actually 1/25 of a second, which is probably violating that shutter rule. But
maybe
sometimes you got to violate the ruls.
All right. Well, we'll see what 1/50th shutter speed looks like at 800 ISO.
Are you going low too?
Are you going about that fast? Is that how fast you were?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa! Woohoo!
You want to do something
I'm going to
different?
incorporate the building in this shot. Oh no! Oh no!
No!
Oh no! It's looking not great. Here we go. Well, no, so it looks like it's just folded together. I'm interested to see.
The battery popped out. Why don't we unfold it,
Oh, yeah,
turn
you're
it
right.
off and turn it on. Turn it off first.
Yeah, I hit this right here. There were no side sensors, so I was trying to get a side view of this building, and then boom, right here. I bet that's me right there.
I'll tell you one thing, you damaged this leg, because this leg normally, you see how it doesn't go up right here? This right now is going up slightly. You can still fly with it.
I might have some oscillation.
But you just gotta
Look at this.
you just gotta be aware of that.
That's popped out.
This is popped out, but that's not major. And the gimbal still looks fine. So
well, we can power it on and see.
Quick assessment is it's still flyable.
Let's see. So let's
you got an ant on it.
Hey, I got an ant. Okay, at least we have some friends here who are, you know, wanting to take a ride on this. Gimbal. Wow. Yeah, this is the most damaged. Because we actually have a cut.
Want to start the props?
Yeah, I think so.
Just to see if it works. Here,
Let's see. I'm just gonna take off just to... Oh my god! Oh!
How tough is the Mavic 2 Pro? Yeah. Yeah, I think you're good. I think you just need to change the props and you're good. It's just that back leg. It's a question of whether you want to get it replaced or not.
I do have DJI Care Refresh, by the way.
I think it's 119 for the first and 139 for the second, I believe.
Well, this is the first.
First? Okay, so 119, I think.
Okay, so I just want to clarify. That right there hit a road sign at a pretty decent clip. I'd say 15 miles an hour at least. Fell onto a curb on the ground on concrete, and who knows what happened after that, but it sounded bad. Replaced 2 props.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Woo! It's robust. I'm surprised. I have not put a Mavic or a DJI product through any sort of endurance test ever. So I'm glad that this actually is in one piece. But anyway, so about our test, I mean, I think it was a pretty cool test to see 2 different people have 2 different perspectives of drone flying, right?
Definitely. I think it was cool shooting around like golden hour and sunset. It was really nice. The only thing is the sun goes down quick. So to do this comparison, I felt like we both felt like, oh no, we got to get the shot before the sun goes down.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened at the end when you were like, oh, let me get this last shot.
I was hauling through there. But you know, our first idea, one of your first ideas was to limit us with time. And it kind of ended up being like that. You know, like we kind of ended up having, like through necessity, a little bit of a time limit there for our shots. So yeah, I think it worked out pretty well for what we were trying to do. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing some of this footage and seeing where we got. So
yeah, and if you guys have any suggestions for future videos like this, or if you have any comments about the shots we did, I think it's really helpful for everyone if you can add your input in maybe in a different way you would have shot it, or something else that you would have done or you'd like to see in the future. because I'd like to do more of these videos. I think they're pretty cool, flying with other people. You get to learn from them and see what they do and vice versa. So
Give us some ideas for what to do, and hopefully all of them exclude crashing my poor Mavic 2 Pro again.
Exactly, minus the end. Subscribe to Ed's channel. I'll put a link down below in the description. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I'm Breck Aramello, breckaramello.com. Drones for real.
We got church bells in the background, but I'm with, wait, hold on a second. What's up, Ed? What's up?
What's up, Ed Ricker?
What's up, Ed Ricker?